The Municipality of North Cypress-Langford is located to the south of Neepawa, bordering the town on 3 sides and stretching south past Carberry as far as Shiloh to the west and Edrins to the east. Total population for the area is 2,860, with a land area of 1,762 square kilometers within 6 wards. One of the highlights of July's meeting of council was a delegation from Rodney White of Conservation to present a proposal to re-establish conservation corridors in the municipality. This would involve tree planting and maintenance along unused road allowances to introduce natural habitats. External funding is available for this sort of project, but the decision needs to be made early in the year because trees have to be ordered in late fall for a spring planting. Council was also contacted by Transport Canada to clean up some trees and brush that are encroaching into a railway area and impeding sightlines. Council is requesting additional map information and parameters for the clearance area. On the development front, Council continues preparation to begin handling Part 3 permits, which involve larger urban and agricultural buildings, and also hired a consultant to conduct financial training for office staff. Council members also brought in constituent concerns around water drainage, which involves both white mud watershed projects causing water to back up and make some roads impassable, as well as wild beaver dams continuing to cause issues in the area. Council will need to work with Watershed to identify and resolve these issues. Following is the July meeting of the Municipality of North Cypress-Langford Council in its entirety.
Call the meeting to order. Resolution 195, 2024, be it resolved that the meeting be convened at 9:06 a.m. with Reeve Ray Drayson in the chair. Do I have a mover, please?
Davidson.
Davidson and Grant. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Adoption of the agenda, Resolution 196, 2024, be it resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of July 8, 2024 be adopted as circulated. Can I have a mover, please? Dallas, seconder. Harold. Anybody have anything to add to the agenda? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Adoption of the minutes, Resolution 197, 2024, be it resolved that the minutes for the regular meeting of June 10th, 2024 and the joint meeting minutes of June 24th, 2024 be adopted as circulated. Can I have a mover, please? Grant, second, Robbie. Any questions on the minutes from last meetings? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. I don't see anybody else here just yet. You want to check out there and see if they're out there now?
Yeah, I can. I hear somebody, but.
Pardon me?
Might be now.
Oh.
Just the customer sorted it for a while.
Finance and accounts, Resolution 198, 2024, be it resolved that the financial statement for July 2024 be referred to council. Can I have a mover, please? Malcolm, seconder.
Davidson.
Sharon. Anybody have any questions on that statement? Got any update or anything, Teresa? All in favor?
Oh,
Go ahead, Robbie.
sorry, I just wanted to say that, like, those came out quite late last night, right?
Sure they did.
Yeah. So it's pretty hard then when you get them at 9:35.
You can look now if you like.
Well, I was looking through them. There's just a few questions I have.
Yeah.
So there's just some bills. The Brookdale Community Center, 18.8,
What's the check number, Robbie?
749.
It was a donation.
And then no.
Oh,
She didn't, you
How
know.
did they get the certificate from us?
Beautiful Plains Community Foundation give Brookdale a donation.
cool.
Yes.
That's sweet.
Mid Plains Implements, check 802. That's a pretty big bill for.
$5,592.76.
It's like a bunch of spray truck pressure gauge for, safeties
Safeties on the trucks and equipment.
and chemical hose and spray truck pressure.
So we'd have a safety on the flatbed, it's a one ton?
On the on the F-550, the trailer, the Ford F-450.
There's a 350.
Okay,
Hey, Rodney, come on in.
and then just the last one,
Just have a chair there, Rodney.
817, Town of Nequa. Is that for the,
That's the
Fire.
fire
That's the
and
fire.
police.
Yep.
okay. Yeah, no, thank you.
I know that
No
number.
problem.
Okay, be on the financial statement, we had a mover and a seconder. All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you.
Hi, Rodney.
We're just gonna finish one more up here, Rodney, and then you're up, okay?
No problem.
Resolution 199, 2024, be it resolved that the accounts, check number 30747 to check number 30822 totaling $484,177.86 and direct deposits withdrawals totaling $86,266.57 be approved for payment. Can I have a mover, please? Robbie, seconder?
Grant.
Grant? Any questions? The list is in front of you there if you want to look at them. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. You're up, Rodney.
Okay,
How you doing?
good, how are you guys?
Good, thanks.
So we're just passing a package around. The front map shows the conservation corridors in your municipality. There's a back map that I'm trying to get one made for Langford as well, but it's just a little zoomed in. And then the middle package is the conservation corridor program. So I believe Stephanie talked to someone in your office, was your emailing with Stephanie, about just getting some conservation corridors reestablished or getting some new ones introduced. So, yeah, a little behind the conservation corridor program. So basically it's under-established or not established road allowances that we just conserve into natural habitat. So we can either go in, we can introduce some new ones if you guys have some in the area, or if there's some that are just have either been put into farmland and someone wants to put them back, we can start planting trees and stuff like that. So it's just an idea to get some more trees on the landscape any way we can. So, but I know you guys have the program with field shelter belts, so this is another way of doing that. So it's on RM land instead of private land. So.
About how many miles you got in North Cypress-Langford, Rodney? Any idea?
No, I don't know the total, but yeah, just looking at that, yeah, there's, a few hundred, so,
Yeah,
but, yeah,
that's a lot, I thought.
yeah, so.
You said you're gonna do one for the northern part of the municipality too?
Yeah, that back map, yeah, I'd like to get one for Langford done as well, so.
So would this be through a grow program for purchasing the trees and?
Yeah, it depends on what we wanna do, or what you guys wanna do, but yeah, I would think we could do grow programs, so then there'd be no cost to basically anybody. It'd be external funding done, so we could do the tree planting ourselves and, yeah, purchase the trees as well, so. Yeah, it'd be if there's any cost, it'd be a low cost, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You maintain trees for the period after?
Usually it's up to the landowner, so that'd be the municipality, but I'm sure, it depends on the maintenance. There's also a maintenance package, which is pretty inexpensive, where we'll come and we'll mow a couple rows and then we'll weed them and stuff, so, yeah. But it's only, I think it's only $200 a quarter mile or something. It's pretty inexpensive, so, and it can be covered with external funding as well too, so, yeah.
Do you approach landowners at all?
About this, not as much, no. It's more just on request by a municipality. But, yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to approach landowners.
There's 3 sections here. I'd sure like to see trees around the sections.
Yeah,
There's so much wind erosion happening now.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, and that's kind of what our thoughts were, was this is another way to get away from that wind erosion, because no one wants to plant it on the middle halves, so.
Say
why
on
not put it
a
the road
partially
allowances?
developed road allowance or something, like how much space would we need for a row of trees?
Of flat ground to plant with our equipment, probably only 8 to 10 feet.
So 10 feet.
Yeah.
Then we could just do it on one side so equipment can still travel,
Yep.
so that there's still open space, like, cause really, wind protection, you don't need double rows, right? You
No.
go down both sides of the road allowance, you just need one side done. Yeah, so
Yeah.
taking
Makes a lot of sense,
equipment wouldn't be hindered that way.
Quick question, what variety of species of trees do you think of? I've been noticing a lot has been dying out in my area due to overspray from aerial application.
Yeah, like, I mean, your coniferous are probably gonna be the best to fight off overspray, but, you could also do, if we can fit 2 rows in, you can do a shrub that'll be quicker growing, that, you know, maybe even a caragana or something, cause they're pretty tough too, and then you put a spruce in beside it, so, cause the spruce will last longer and look a bit nicer and everything else, but, yeah, the spruce are the toughest against spray, so.
Scott's pine works pretty good in some of the sand here land too.
Yeah, yeah, we also have those available, yeah, so.
Just plant poplar. They
Yeah,
grow everywhere.
yeah, and they shoot up, so, yeah.
Is this first map with the green on it, are these conservation corridors?
Those are existing, yeah.
Okay, so
So,
these,
and then the pink or red lines is the, border of municipality, so.
right,
And then it's cut off at the bottom, that's our border,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
do other conservation districts have a program?
Not that I know of, but, it's never really, it's one of those programs that kind of has been set for so long, no one really talks about it, so.
Yeah, Whiteman developed it years ago and they've just kept on with it, haven't they?
Yeah, so,
It's a good deal.
yeah, well, it's kinda like our Johnny Appleseed, we're the only district in, I believe, Canada that does that, so.
Yeah.
So what would it cost the landowner for a section, for spruce and caraganas?
Nothing. Yeah, we would just, as long as we can get it in time, we can apply for external funding for it.
Oh, is
So,
that right?
yeah, so, my timeline would probably be if we have everything organized, landowner, like an area by November, December, then we can order trees and we can get it in line, cause we're actually, I think next year we might actually have to put some cutoffs on our shelter belt plantings just cause we had so many.
So I'm gonna approach I know there's 2 or 3 farmers I wanna approach. You got your phone number on here?
I don't have my card, sorry.
You
but,
can just give me yours.
yeah, 476 6082.
There's definitely 3 sections I'd sure like to see trees around
Yeah.
right away.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to approach, just to ask every other here, do we need to approach farmers when it's on our project, when it's on our road allowance?
Not necessarily, but if you have any in your ward that you know of,
Just at least ask.
highlight them.
That'd be nice.
But as
to
far
work
as
in
on private land,
farmer
like-
to work with them anyway.
Private
Yeah,
landowners can
definitely.
apply for growth too,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
so the reason I don't wanna alienate. the
No, it's best
irrigation.
to ask the neighbor, yeah.
Yeah, ask them, yeah.
Mhm. So I guess that's the other thing too. I know you guys had that program for paying for shelter belt plantings, but now that we have our external funding, we don't really need to do that. Is that something you guys would be interested in paying for the trees so that it might promote it more? So right now, so anybody that wants a field shelter belt, they pay for the trees and that's all they pay for. We pay for the planting, like we do the planting and we get it all covered through external funding. So I know before you guys were paying for a portion of the planting,
Yeah.
maybe you want to subsidize
Work
some
with
of the
you guys
trees
on
or
it, yeah.
something. So,
It's a good idea.
yeah, just to then, you know, if a landowner's saying, well, I'd do it, but I don't wanna pay anything towards it, well,
Then you have the money
Yeah.
there.
yeah, so just a thought, so. might be something to revisit over the winter, so,
I think we have about 23,000 in that account.
yeah.
What's the cost of the trees?
Last year they were $1 and or $1.10 and $1.50. So $1.10 for our cuttings, which is this willow and the poplar, and then $1.50 for everything else. So.
How many would you put on the mile, Rodney?
Uh,
Every 3-4 feet or more?
no, they're so the coniferous are every 12 to 15 feet, and the deciduous, everything else, or the deciduous are every 8 feet, and then the shrubs are every 4 feet. So
320 a mile for spruce if you go by the rod,
yeah,
so it'd be 640 for a little bit.
yeah. That's
Per
a
mile, right?
Yeah,
Per mile.
for a mile, yeah. So if you're only doing a half mile, yeah, you can.
$750, you can get what trees you want from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, exactly.
What else you got to sell us today?
This is all I'm focusing on today. But I can come back with more if you want. So.
If you had a wish list, what kind of mileage are you looking at for Shelterville? Like, you put thought into this, so what would be a good number for you to come up with?
If we could do 2 to 3 miles a year, I think that'd be good.
Okay.
Because they should be pretty decent sites to work in, so they won't take that long.
They're farming.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Okay.
and, right now, we went into the first week of July, which isn't ideal. You want to get May and June, but, and we had 12 miles, I think, that we did with our summer students. So, and that was working between our rains and everything else. Yeah. So, I know we've went into like August before, but you don't want that. Like you're just, the later you go, the lower the chance of the tree
So
surviving.
that,
So,
the perfect opportunity for this would be for to plant it and do it in the spring of 25.
yeah,
Yeah.
to
Get it
start,
planned
yeah.
by November, so.
By November, so we can order them.
Yeah, and then, yeah, like I said, I think our ideal number would be 10 to 12 miles total, so that we can have our summer students comfortable, and then, so if you guys could get in early, then,
You
you're,
can plant it, yeah.
yeah, then if we get too many, we can, go that way, so.
What's the lifespan of some of these trees, like for replanting? Have you got any that you think should maybe be renewed at all, or are they, once they're going, they're going?
Yeah, for the most part, they kind of like replant themselves, a lot of them, so, but yeah, your coniferous are 30 years is usually a pretty good lifespan, but maybe a bit longer, and your deciduous is more 20-25, so, but, lots of them will outlast that, they'll just start to look weaker, and so.
What condition would you want road allowance in for your planting? Like for example, I've got a section that's been sprayed out by aerial application, and I leave it as a grass runway mostly, just so the potato fields don't bury my fences.
Right.
Do you want the grass removed? Do you want it disked? Like if there's another farmer approach us, like,
It would need to be disked. All we ask for the most part is the sod is disked up, because we have a tiller, but it won't till through sod. So, if we can have the sod removed, then that's.
then you're fine.
Yeah,
Can you put down mulch?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I
So,
can just tell people.
yeah, absolutely. Good question. Yeah. Yeah, and really, like I said, we only need 8-foot spacing for one row. So, you add the whatever you're planting to the rows. So, if you're doing a coniferous and deciduous, you have 15 feet between the two, and then 4 feet on either side. That's lots. So,
Do you do maintenance or cleaning up amongst them for a couple of years, or you
Yeah.
just, once they're in, they're in, or?
yeah, it has an option for 1 or 2 years and 1 or 2 passes. So, we can do that. We can make that work. So.
Did you not used to put a carpet down there or plastic with them sometimes?
Yeah, the mulch, yeah.
Still do it?
Yeah, yeah, so.
And what do we do? I think one of the things we have to look at is about, like I'm looking at this map and I see 3 that no longer exist.
Well, there is that side of it, yeah, too.
Yeah,
And like they say, the grant for taking out right now it's a fine of $100. There's no It's like this one south of Acadia Colony, as I said, they just got fed up, they couldn't get their equipment, couldn't run their combine with their header down so they just bulldozed it, didn't care, anybody.
Previous landowner from my home quarter took out half mile and just took the White Mud Watershed Conservation District post and moved it to my quarter to the south.
Yeah.
I got blamed for taking the trees out because I bought the place 6 months later, it wasn't me.
Yeah, like Jaron says, maybe they should only be planted on one side. That would give
Yeah.
you lots of room on the other
Right.
side for your bigger equipment.
Yeah, that's the thing too, like we
Makes
could work
sense.
with landowners if they're having problems with
Yeah.
existing roads, well, clean those ones out and put in a new row of trees where they aren't gonna hurt anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Still
Yeah.
nice to at least be able to keep some trees around.
And it's a lot easier to try and work with landowners rather than try and go enforcement, because,
Yeah.
yeah, it generally isn't enough to deter them, and, yeah, harder to do. So,
The only reason I asked about that would be that permission, we have had the odd one that's been bulldozed within the last 4 or 5 years that we could go ahead and just reclaim
Yeah.
using this.
yeah.
Well-
That's why that's within reason, right? But there's,
Didn't we just do it last fall? So,
but if they're not, we could enforce it, is what I'm getting at.
I mean, if there's any kind of retribution, we should be looked into too.
Okay.
I mean, we did it,
Yeah, I know.
so,
Well, this way we can plant more trees to make up for it.
well, the way they were left though, there's a lot of work yet on them,
Yeah, I know.
where they're disastrous.
Mhm.
Yeah, so even if everyone makes a list of their own wards, and then you guys pick priority and just let us know, and even if you just give us the area, we can go look at it, we'll plan what trees, how many trees, everything else, like, it's just, we just need the land to plant the trees on, so.
Okay.
Yep,
So,
all right.
Anybody
okay,
else got any questions for Rodney?
No,
Got anything else, Rodney?
nope, that's everything for today.
Thank you very much for coming down.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Can we make this public knowledge?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, so, yeah, and, yeah, like you said, I'm sure there's some on there that aren't on the
Yeah.
landscape anymore, but that's what the information we had, so.
Nothing
All right.
else, we'll look at updating what's still left for you.
Yeah, exactly, that too, so, perfect, thank you.
Thanks, Rodney.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yep, see ya.
Yeah.
Hi, Rachel.
You're up here. Anybody want a break for 5 minutes here while Robbie's getting the coffee?
Okay.
Okay, back to the thing here. Planning matters, resolution 200, 2024. Be it resolved that council adjourn the regular meeting at 9:35 for the purpose of holding a public hearing regarding applications for 2 conditional use permits. Can I have a mover, please? Robbie?
Homestead.
And Dallas, all in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Rachel, go for it.
Okay, first off, you've changed the resolution numbers. Can I just grab the resolution numbers for this one?
202.
202, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so, first conditional use order we have on the table, is, CU 05-24-NCL. It's for, A&M potato growers. They are looking to establish a rural non-farm dwelling site as part of one of their conditions for their subdivision. So this is located at Southwest 181116. And again, like I said, it's a condition of a subdivision. It's a relatively straightforward application. They're looking to establish a 10-acre rural non-farm dwelling site, which is a requirement in the conditional use order as a conditional use order.
Must be David Blair's old yards?
Yes. Yeah, so it is, like I said, located at Southwest 181116. The yard marker is 62035 off Road 96 West. So it's an established yard site. They're looking at removing the yard site from the agricultural land. Very typical of what we see as a condition of a subdivision. So, you guys had looked at this subdivision in 2023, so it's 4155-23-8595. So we haven't received any comments or questions into the planning district. I'm assuming the municipality is very much the same. It's not an active area, so at least not for development right now. So
They must be moving that yard site to the corner, right?
They're just removing the existing yard
Just
site.
the
It's gonna stay
existing.
right there.
Yeah, yeah, they're just gonna cut it right out.
Okay. I see, I see.
Okay, next one, go ahead.
Okay, so the next application is CU 06 of 24. Very similar situation. It is to establish a rural non-farm dwelling site. So this is for Ian and Arlie Wilson. This is adjacent to an existing yard site that is already been cut out of their property. And it is, hold on a second.
I think you got a typo in that thing. It says Ian and Harley Wilson, legal owners of Southeast 181116.
Oh.
Yeah. that-
Yeah, it should be Northwest 30, 14, 15.
Good catch.
Sorry, didn't realize it was
That's
behind
the
me.
last one.
The other one, yeah.
Copy and paste.
Oh, that is
It's on the
that.
next line below it, yeah.
Yeah, that's an error on the first paragraph of my letter. So like I said, this is a condition of a subdivision. Like I said, they've already got a small rural non-farm dwelling site that's been cut out of this quarter. They are looking to remove their existing yard site, and it is, oh my goodness, where did it go? 7 acres. So a little bit smaller than what we typically see. We like to see those 10 acres just because that's a consistent number. So their only requirement, because they're within the 5 to 10, is to apply for a conditional use order. So we've had quite a number of phone calls in regards to this subdivision in particular, simply due to the fact that that land has been redesignated. The north end of that quarter has been redesignated into rural residential. And there has been some concerns from adjacent landowners about this application being for the rural residential, but it's not. This is simply to remove their existing yard site. I would venture a guess at a later date you'll see that subdivision or that application, but it's not on the books as of yet.
So they're allowed more than one subdivision in a quarter section?
We allow 2 cuts to agricultural land, but like I said, that top end has already been redesignated, so that could potentially go to another cut further down the road. But as of right now, on the bottom end, there's a bit of a, if I'm not mistaken, a kind of a creek that runs.
Yeah.
So on the bottom end of that, it's still listed as agricultural land. So we allow 2 cuts per quarter.
There's been no objections to that specifically?
To the yard site, no. There's been very little discussion after we kind of informed the person on the phone that it's simply
So
for.
there's concern with the northern development, but not this?
There always is when it comes to rural residential and an agricultural area. The next subdivision, if it does come into fruition, will be slightly different because it borders Highway 16.
Right, and the airport.
Yeah, like there is some development there, but as of right now, there hasn't been any objection from any
Yeah, we
adjacent
talked about
landowners.
it, yeah.
No, for those who aren't aware, the development plan is Cypress Planning District bylaw. It's our document. It took a very long time to get it approved through the minister, and the reasoning behind it was due to some objections with the rural residential that we had placed. Rural residential is always kind of a sticking point for landowners and the province, to be honest. So it has been redesignated. It hasn't been rezoned in your zoning bylaw. We left it so that we could again.
So there'll be a hearing for that one?
You betcha. If it comes to
If
the
it
table,
comes about,
yeah.
yeah.
It hasn't been discussed yet, so.
Anything else?
Nope, just those
That's
2.
enough, good. Anybody got any questions for Rachel? Seeing none, resolution 201-2024, be it resolved the public hearing regarding 2 conditional use orders be adjourned at 9:41 a.m. and that the regular meeting of council resume. Can I have a mover, please? Malcolm, seconder.
Yeah.
Grant. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Resolutions 202-2024, be it resolved that council approve the conditional use order number CU 05-2024 NCL for AM Potato Growers, the owners of property legally described as 62305 Road 96 West, PT Southwest 181116 WPM in the Municipality of North Cypress-Langford and located 1 mile north of number 1 along Municipal Road 96 to establish a rural non-farm dwelling site in the AR agricultural rural zone. Can I have a mover, please?
Right.
Seconder, please.
Rob.
Rob, any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. I think we got enough descriptions in there, we should be able to find it.
We have to be very careful. We need all of the legalese in there.
Resolution 203, 2024, be it resolved that council approve the conditional use order number CU 06, 2024 NCL for Arlie and Ian Wilson, the owners of property legally described as 82117 Road 90 West, Northwest 301415 WPM in the Municipality of North Cypress-Langford and located south of PTH along Municipal Road 90 to establish a rural non-farm dwelling site in the AR agricultural rural zone. Can I have a mover, please? Dallas, seconder. Robbie, any questions, anyone? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Resolution 204, 2024, be it resolved that council appoint Alex J. Campbell as their Part 3 building inspector and mentor. And further be it resolved that council appoint Rachel G. Andrews as their Part 9 building inspector and development officer. Can we have a mover, please?
Grant.
Grant, seconder. Dallas? You want to explain any more there, Rachel?
You betcha. So
Please.
with us proceeding to apply to the province on the municipality's behalf, one of the things that we are required to do to ensure that both myself and Alec, who will be acting as our Part 3 mentor, are covered under the liabilities insurance, we need all the municipalities to appoint Alec as a designated officer, which is basically what we're doing with this resolution. No different than I had previously been appointed as your building inspector and development officer. So the only reason why we've listed it out slightly different is we are required to send these resolutions along with a letter that I had sent to all the CAOs for signature, our contract and our request to the province in order to have the municipalities designated as a Part 3 approving authority. So that's basically why we're doing these. It's just a bit of coverage for liability sake for insurances. So.
Great, thank you. Any other questions, anyone? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you.
So I have been chatting with the province on this. Once all the letters have been received, and we'll receive Glenborough South Cypress on Wednesday from their council, and then we have our board meeting on Thursday. So Friday morning, I will send all the application and documents into the province. It should take roughly, a week to hear back from them. The municipalities, like I said, are the ones carrying the designation, so you'll receive the approval letter if the province decides to approve it directly, and then all we would do is ask that your CAOs forward them on to myself. But after that, we have a little bit of paperwork to do in-house with the planning district to ensure that our fee bylaw represents the Part 3 permits that we're looking to permit, and then after that, we'll hit the ground running. So before the end of July, hopefully, as long as everything goes according to plan, we should be issuing Part 3 permits. So.
How long is you have to have a mentor? Rachel?
4 years.
4 years.
You bet. Yeah,
So there's additional costs because of that.
So all of the mentor fees for coverage will be paid for out of the building permits.
Okay.
And listing, the way we've listed it in the resolution, there shouldn't be a change to your liability insurance. That would be the only additional costing for everybody. Because like I said, we're going to pull all of Alec's coverage or mentor fees right out of the building permit.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not looking to add any extra fees into the planning district and then onto you guys. So
Robbie,
you bet.
go ahead.
What if somebody doesn't want to pay their?
Okay, so in a situation where we have someone who doesn't want to pay their building permit, basically what we do is we write the building permit anyways. We give them notice, 3 notices to either pay the building permit or explain why they're not paying the building permit. And then what we would do is we would bring it to council, and then we would have council make the decision to apply it to taxes. So they either, the province can't do that currently with a Part 3 permit. They have no authority to apply anything to taxes. So the planning district has the authority through our membership with the municipality to apply things to taxes. So we would basically give them notice. The first notice is to pay their building permit fee. The second notice is that if they don't pay their building permit fee, the next notice will explain what will happen. And the third notice basically says you have X number of days to pay your building permit fee, or we will bring it to the municipality, we'll double your building permit fee, and we will apply it to your taxes.
So as a council now, would we not be smart to start this process of getting these directives in order? Because who knows if one guy says, I'm not gonna pay,
You betcha.
and
So
then we
What
get
have we
a,
got right now, yeah.
well, like on this part 3 one, right? Like everybody
Yeah.
will pay their normal building permit.
yes and no.
Well,
Some of them.
okay, but
So one of the things that we're doing that we're going to have to do as the planning district, it's that cleaning up of paperwork. So we have a fee bylaw. In our fee bylaw, we have it written out in black and white, basically saying that if you don't pay for your building permit, it will be doubled and then applied to your taxes. So it's in the new document. It's actually always been in our fee bylaw. We've just never actually had to get that far, but
so in this case, can we use old paperwork we have on this, amend it to the part 3 and move forward and save us a lot of hassle, right?
you betcha. So the fee bylaw is already rewritten to allow for part 3.
Okay.
It's already been done, so it's something we'll be discussing on Thursday. And then, going forward, there are a handful of part 3 permits that haven't been paid for, that are either projects that are been completed or projects that have recently started that were permitted or they had attempted to permit last year. In those cases, we would give them a grace period because there's been a changeover of authority. Most of those guys have come into my office anyways to pay for their development permit, so I don't think it'll be that difficult to get them to come in and pay for a building permit, but we do have to account for the fact that there are always someone or a group of people who don't want to pay for permits. So,
Oh, yeah, and I mean, all it takes is one, right?
yeah, so it is in the Municipal Act on how to handle these type of infractions and how we can handle them. So basically, the way the permit fee bylaw is laid out is almost word for word what's in the Planning and Municipal Act. So, and it does give the municipalities authority to apply the building permit to their property taxes. The Cypress Planning District has always had that line in there that if you don't pay for your permit, we will double your permit fee. On these Part 3 buildings where we are looking at $12,000 as a permit fee, that will be kind of a big issue for some of them if we do have to double it and apply it to their taxes. In those situations, we will have to look on how we're going to handle the coverage of Alec
Well,
with his mentor
thinking,
fees.
like, he has
So-
to be paid regardless.
So in those cases, we've allotted for 7 hours per building permit, which comes out to $1,000 or $1,050. So basically, we will have to have that coverage somewhere. So on a building permit that hasn't been paid for, we will have to look at how we want to handle that.
Right, because by the time it goes, depending on the time of year, it could be almost 2 years before it gets to their next tax.
You betcha. There is some mechanisms that we have to look at
Yeah.
on how we want to deal with things. Honestly, I'm not overly worried about having the guys not come in and pay for their permits, but it's always there's always that possibility. So I hadn't accounted for that when we wrote our contract with Alec on how we were going to handle that. But
Well,
yeah,
he's got to be paid.
for sure.
So-
Yep.
And you have money.
Planning district has money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the
So-
ability to cover that. If absolutely need be, we could cover it and then
Work it back
yeah.
out.
Work it back on
You
that.
betcha. Yeah, no, there isn't a major concern. We do have the ability to pay for Alex's mentor services. So
We just don't want to have this happen and us sitting on our feet, on our heels here. It's most of it's ready already, so
you betcha. Yeah, no, and
get it in place and
Alec is he's a retired building inspector and codes officer from the province. So he worked at the OFC before it was ITS. He worked out of Brandon, so he's well versed in municipal politics and dealing with people who don't want to pay building permits. So it's kind of old hat for him. So.
Okay, anybody else got any other questions for Rachel? Thank you very much, Rachel.
thanks, Rachel.
You guys have a good
Thursday
day.
at Glenboro.
Thursday at Glenboro. Yeah.
There wasn't any update on Brookdale Holdings.
Nope.
Nothing.
I've reached out a few times. Everything's still really quiet. I did have one of the colony representatives come into my office And he basically said if they can't get any movement, what is their next step? So I explained what their options were. One of which was speaking to their legal counsel and then speaking to the province. So I did also explain to him that the municipality basically wasn't able to process these applications because they needed more information from the province. And at this point in time, until the province makes a decision or provides comment to our questions that I had sent them, there really is no grounds for further movement. So I don't feel that it will come back to the municipality first. I do feel like it'll go to the province first from their legal counsel, but it all depends on how they want to approach the situation. But
Okay, thank you.
perfect. Yeah, have a great day.
Have a good week.
Well,
Stay cool out there. Not too wet. Yeah. See you, Rachel.
See ya.
Unfinished business, resolution 205, 2024, be it resolved that council hire Michelle Clow as Director of Leisure Services effective July 3rd, 2024, with details outlawed in the employment agreement. Could I have a mover, please?
Rob,
Robbie, seconder. Harold. Any question on this?
I met her on July 1st. She's very excited to get to work.
So is this gonna take some work off Callie, or is this?
Oh, yeah, this is supposed to.
Yep.
Very much.
So what's
The
your
other-
job description then, Rob?
They took from Callie's initial job when she first was employed as the rec director.
Yeah,
Is
she
that-
was leisure services
Right,
originally, yeah.
so-
Yeah.
They've taken some of Callie's job and moved it down to her.
Okay.
So there's she has more responsibility now than Callie originally did.
Mhm.
So both of them are should
Big
be able to
team
get.
So is it kind of split 50-50 then?
No,
No.
no. Callie's still the boss. She's got more authority and more duties.
Okay.
but they will be interchangeable. If Kelly goes on holidays, she'll have to step in
Right.
to help out
Yes.
there.
You're okay with it, Teresa?
Yeah,
She was
which
excited.
is
Any other-
fantastic.
Questions? All in favor?
Great.
Opposed? Carried, thank you. General business resolution 206, 2024, be it resolved that council accept Kelly Hofer as citizen rep for the Recreation Committee. Can we have a mover, please?
Grant?
Grant, seconder,
Tuesday.
Dallas.
She was in
Any
Carberry,
question? Is this the Carberry
Yeah,
Rec
it's
Committee, I
Yes,
imagine?
sorry, yeah.
You're okay with that change in there? Any other questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you.
Excellent.
Resolution 207, 2024, be it resolved that council approve a team to attend the 32nd Annual Municipal Best Ball Foursome Golf Tournament in Deloraine on July 18th, 2024, at a cost of $280 for the golfing and $85 for carts. Can I have a mover, please?
Well, sure.
Dallas, seconder.
Rob,
Robbie. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Resolution 208, 2024, be it resolved that council dismiss finance employee S. Creasy, June 14th, 2024, with 1 week paid in lieu. Can I have a mover, please?
Davidson.
Jaren, seconder. Harold. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Resolution 209, 2024, be it resolved that council hire Nettie Newdorf Consulting to aid in personalized financial training with office staff as per estimation of $11,700 plus GST. Can I have a mover, please?
Welcome.
Malcolm, seconder.
Davidson.
Jaren, any questions?
Consulting, so
That's to help Teresa and Nellie with a lot
Okay.
of what we're dealing with and
Then she
doing.
got a number back to us.
Yeah, yeah, she did.
Any questions on that other than that, Grant?
no, that's good.
There's a breakdown there.
Yeah. That's what she plans on. She actually spent an hour with Nellie and I on the phone discussing what we thought we need to work on most, and then she took, we have a Google shared drive, and we sent her everything that she requested, and then she based her training on that.
Just
Any more
one,
questions?
just one quick question on it. When I was reading the proposal, it said that she'd round up to the next half hour.
Mhm.
So if you were per pay period, if she rounded up to the next half hour, the next pay period, it went, and she needed an extra half an hour, would she go back and give us a little bit, because we paid for half an hour we didn't use, or is she give and take? Does she seem like that type of a person, or?
She is pretty giving, but I don't know,
Just asking.
Is it? Yeah, I'm not
just being
sure.
a little nitpicky, that's all.
I'm not sure. How about we just make sure to utilize everything we
Yeah,
possibly
everything,
can?
nice, just
Okay.
to
I'm pretty
try
good
to,
with
try to
that.
make the even hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with utilizing what I have.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Nothing added to the agenda.
Yes,
Bridge tender.
here,
What?
reach them.
Oh. Resolution 210, 2024, be it resolved that council approve proposal number 2 from HWM for $66,570 plus taxes to repair bridge on 85 West. May I have a mover, please? Malcolm, seconder.
Davidson.
Any questions on that? We discussed that earlier. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. Thanks, Teresa. Communications, Manitoba Hydro, 1.9 kilometers of new line. Where are they putting 1.59 kilometers?
Okay. Correspondence.
That's a nice map.
Yeah, it's kind of sideways, but
What's the legal description?
legal is, let's go back to the letter. I'll just maximize the picture then.
Just a little over a mile, eh? Anybody recognize where it's at?
It's just a big blur.
Yeah, no kidding.
This says Carberry North here, so this must be 5.
It was northwest.
Are they redoing the line sort of because of the highway upgrade?
No, yeah.
11:15, I think is what that says there.
15?
11:15, yeah.
64, I don't know if it'll help if I turn this
Oh, a
off.
little bit.
She needs some more
Can't
here.
see any words.
Oh, that's tiny.
87.
Is that Road 60 north or
Road
65?
60.
This is
This
64
is
right
64
here.
here.
87.
Where are we going to where are we getting to here?
Okay, let's minimize it again.
That's like that's on the end there, right?
Yep.
Maybe that's road 84, 85. Is it?
I would
Is
guess
this
it
the
was
one right
64.
here they're talking about?
No.
No, it's this one up here.
Let's see the printed version.
Well, it says construct one blah 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 line on
Just
the
north and
one
west of
foot
Carver here. It's 11:15, I don't know.
Here's the other.
fuse.
Not
I
that
Oh,
that
good, that
helps
is
either.
Your ward.
don't know. Never heard of it.
Jeez.
Right.
4 miles, yeah.
That's what it looks like, yeah. And 1, 2, 3, 4 miles west of number 5, maybe?
5, yeah. Actually, 1.5 miles.
Somebody putting a pivot in up there, Robbie?
I still am not sure where we are.
About 4 miles north of the highway and 4 miles
That's
west of number 5.
the old power line.
That's the
that-
old power line. 64 is the power line road, right?
Yeah,
It's 3. It's 3 miles.
Send that down to Robbie, maybe he can make sense of that one there.
that's the old.
I'm thinking it's,
Good idea. Think that's gonna work, and we
It
blow it up?
does, it actually works better than. Oh, it says Brad Davidson, John Lavich, who's my Brad, salvage something sprays.
Spud Plains, so, irrigation. That's on the bottom right corner. Construct that line. There must be going, there's, Phil Wells, you know his little place there? There's a pivot going on, they're digging them in right now, but Paul has a pivot in that one quarter already. But there's 2 more pivots going in his, east of his place, the next quarter. They're still building the pivots.
So this is up by Fairview Dump somewhere up in that area, is it then?
the start
A
of
little
it.
farther
Little,
west,
little north and west.
a little north, a little west.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be quite over on the Hart Road then.
no,
Or-
no, it's,
I see
Well,
33,
good
11,
idea where
15 is a number.
so so my road's 87, so when you get up to Phil's Road, whatever that is, it's the next mile, so they'll come from Brad's, you've got 3-phase north a mile, so they're coming from the east-west, 3-phase going south.
I don't think we have a problem with it, really, do we? I can't see it.
No. Like, I'm not sure, like,
It's just information and it's not costing
Yeah.
us any money.
no, like,
No.
did we ever have a say when Kelly, Evans, you put that? No, like, we never heard about his 3-phase go down there.
They just,
They're just, I'd let you know.
It's
they're
just
just
information
letting you
only.
know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You can comment on it if you want,
oh, no,
and they'll get back to you,
Yeah.
but it's just,
The only thing that Dale might come back on is there's trees in there right away. That's what, and Kelly addressed it and took it out with the backhoe.
oh,
Yeah, so it was Kelly's expense.
yeah, but I
Totally their
don't,
expense,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, continue on then.
Just as long as they know that if there's any trees, that it's their expense.
Is it worth a letter saying we have no issue if you want to proceed and remove trees at your own expense?
yeah, I'll just respond to their
Right?
emails,
Just
yeah.
Be proactive on that one and not.
Municipal Relations, County Courthouse.
So they're looking to have a meeting with us about the county courthouse. Dolores just messaged me at the end of last week, but of course I wasn't in, and asking if we had a preferred date or time, but they hadn't offered dates and times yet.
Who was
So-
talking to you?
Dolores Maximchuk,
Oh,
she's municipal relations.
oh, her, okay.
So-
Oh, she's trying to work something out for us.
Yeah,
is she?
so we're all going to get together eventually and have a discussion about this. Colleen had reached out to Dolores to help us figure it out, so we'll see
Yeah.
what comes of that. So be prepared, there will be a meeting sometime in the future.
Nothing was said about it, or?
Not to me, just ask me what day would work out best. This is the letter, well, I sent it out in correspondence, but Colleen had reached out and that was it.
Okay, water services, line update, what do I got there?
You know what, Dee was supposed to get back to me, she didn't. But Jared did. I asked them because it's been quite a while since they were out and looked at it and no one responded
There's no
about it.
report back.
Oh, this is
So-
the one up by Franklin where we were
Yes.
with the pressure
Yeah.
issue?
Okay.
So he says the pressure drops from 60 to 0 and there's gotta be something wrong somewhere. Dee was supposed to contact me. She was away when I originally talked to Jared. She hasn't contacted me yet, so I'll reach out to her again now that I'm back and we'll see if she's heard anything else. But they are still working on it is what he wanted me to know
Well,
for sure.
It'd be nice to get this rolling so we could get it corrected this summer, not wait till
Yeah,
winter time
before
like
it freezes up
normal.
would be good.
And they want to get a more updated map. This is the map they have right now of all the hookups. But if there are additional hookups that they aren't aware of, we need to make them aware of. So we need to go through that map and make sure that some of these subs that we know of are marked on there as well.
Okay.
Have you been talking to Tim to tell him to go to, ask him to go to Brandon to sit down and talk with her? And tell her where everything
She would
is?
rather not talk, she'd rather talk directly to the municipality.
Well, Tim knows where everything is, not
I
us.
agree, but,
So if she's gonna
so
have
Tim
to,
and Matt and Jared went out together.
Yeah.
So they're all in the loop, right?
Okay.
But, yeah, she doesn't really want him reaching out to her.
well, she's sooner or later gonna have to because he's the one that knows where everything is and
That's right.
all
Or if she
that,
requests a
so.
meeting, he at least has to be here to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Give it to her through us.
Yeah,
Okay, White Mud Watershed Conservation Corridor, we just had that?
yeah.
Depot EDO, Children's Fair, information?
They did ask for a sponsorship of $200. We haven't done it before.
Well,
Um,
Carberry Arts Council does the same thing too, though, and we didn't request
Yeah.
anything,
No,
so.
so leave it
Okay.
alone.
So I left that be.
Transport Canada, letter of non-compliance, what did we do now?
That got my attention.
It was just, we need to clean up some trees. That's
Oh,
what
it
we
is?
need to do, yeah.
Non-compliance, when did we get a warning in the first place?
This is
Well, this
the
is the-
one,
this is the
yeah.
initial?
No, it's initial.
Sounds-
Okay.
They
Okay.
want,
Sounds strong worded for an initial
Yeah.
warning.
Fair
they
enough.
want to know how we intend on dealing with this by the 12th. So,
Where exactly are these trees?
Did they give us a map?
they gave us a,
That's location, but it's pretty hard for us to tell where that is. Going by that, I couldn't figure it out.
no, they didn't give a
Yeah,
map,
no
they just
kidding.
give this, everyone's turning their heads, it's so funny.
We noted, that was one of
I'm
what's better than
sorry,
everybody here.
sorry.
Where is
It's
it?
Road
on
92
TV
west.
looking like this, we're reading something.
Road 92 west,
Northeast and southwest quadrants by brush on private property.
Road 92 west.
92 West,
Yeah.
So,
that'd be south of Grant's place then. On 464.
Wow,
this is different. Last time they sent out a
should
complaint about
be-
trees, it turned out to be the CPR's trees.
Well, it's gotta be the CN's this way, it's gotta be the one coming out.
If it's 92 West, that'll be the corner just east of your place then.
Yeah.
And that's all the willows in there, that's the problem, yeah.
Yeah,
is that on private land or our land?
it's, yeah.
Well,
But
how
it's,
wide does it, higher to the railway, what's their property line in there?
They're talking down by Ron Drysdale's, 464, a little bit, just south of Neil's, Commerce in there, and it's wetter and bugger usually, and those willows are, yeah, I don't understand what their concern is, because they're quite a ways away from the.
Is it a sightline thing?
It's a sight
It
line
is
traffic, I
sightlines, yeah.
guess.
Yeah, but I don't think it's our responsibility, isn't the railway have a?
What's the railway got for right of way through there? Have they got 99 feet like a road or are they different?
Like those willows are, you know,
Oh, willows, yeah.
I think we should send a letter back to them and tell them to start removing all their old decrepit, guide wires and their
Yeah.
hydro posts and everything else.
All their telegraph wire and
Yeah,
everything like
that's what I
that.
was trying to say.
Yeah,
another thing too, it's so likely to come back, because I told them to fix all the crossings, like, and they did, finally, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, now they're
We did
coming,
that, now fix your willows.
now we gotta do the wells, yeah.
So do we need a request a map for this or something, so we know what we're talking about, or?
I would request
We
a
don't
map.
have a clue where.
No.
A sight line, like, what do they
Yeah.
consider sight lines?
Yeah.
I think
Request a
would
map
be-
and exactly how big their,
Well, if you going
How
out to the, say going out to the fairgrounds, right? When you're
Yeah.
heading south, you stop at the stop line. The town cut them down, but there used to be all sorts of trees. You couldn't see the trains coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And then they clean that out, and that'll be what it is.
that'll
It'll
be
be-
what it is, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a handful of
but
trees.
it'd be nice to know
How many feet?
how
Those
many
trees are
feet they're
on,
expecting people to do
not
it,
municipal
right?
property, they're on landowners' properties.
I think they were just they're before the back slope. So I don't know, it's hard to say, but
Yeah, because
I mean-
our property only goes from the middle of the road 50 feet that way, and then it's the
Yeah.
landowners
It's a landowner.
and the railroad's not ours.
yeah. So they
verify what they need for an application.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then once it's done, we'll either have to send in a mower
In
or
fact, I'll
probably
say to do sit
mulch.
money and I'll do
Because
it.
otherwise we'll take out tires, we can send a regular, if it's too much, we have to drive over the sticks, we'll pick up tires, we'd have to send in a mulcher of some sort.
Okay.
If it's
Enough
not
on
much,
that
hire
then,
Phil
Teresa?
Wells
Yeah.
to go and do it, or hire Trent Belchinus to go do it.
Yeah, just
Yeah, that's right.
shoot her down.
Yeah.
Involved surface strategies, temporary road closure pipeline, where are we closing the roads here?
Question.
Isn't that about how they're gonna start paying their taxes now, the way I read that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you wanna talk about this now, or do you wanna wait, cause I got something to say about it?
You can wait.
Well, I guess it's public. They still got the lines in the ground, we don't care what's going through them.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
The infrastructure's there.
The infrastructure's there, they paid the money to get it there, it's all still on everybody's land, it's still,
way it should
there's no
be
difference.
Less when everybody else's taxes are going
Yeah.
up.
We don't care what's going through it and when it's going through it. We just, the basic taxes,
Yeah.
that's what it should be. And
That's no different than a farmer's green. Sits
Right.
empty half a year, but he
Yeah.
still pays taxes on it.
yeah. So I just find that very hard for us to swallow as a, like, I can't see any municipality saying, oh geez, that's great, just,
Yeah,
you know,
good for
like,
you.
good for you, like, you guys are saving money by only pumping your half full lines, well,
Doesn't matter.
that,
That's like my comparison. I said I have a 5-bedroom house and I only have 2 people, but I still pay on a 5-bedroom house, you
Yeah.
know?
I'm not sure why they think this is gonna go over so well.
Right. Yeah. If nothing else,
So
should
what do we
be
need?
looking at like our district meeting of setting up some kind of, at AMM lobbying on that.
That would probably be the best route.
Yes, work
The
on that
resolution
now.
is he who also on the pipeline, be
Yeah.
online with us.
Okay. Around the table. These are all, you wanna go through this list first and then we'll go around to everybody?
I can.
Okay,
So, as I said earlier, Egg Society Road, we wanted to fix it before the fair, but then ding ding, we forgot about, maybe we should contact CN Rail, so held off on it, and Matt, just made sure to fix it up before the fair, and they graded inside the fairgrounds. Agricultural Crown Lands contacted NCL about a fence on municipal property just west of Carberry. They're working with, or trying to work with the landowner to have them remove the fence where they prevent access to Crowns, but they question why we're allowing our municipal road to be fenced off and if an agreement was put into place. So that's just the one past the horse farm here. So,
I don't know whether there ever was an agreement putting in place, but
He says
back
yes.
over the last 100 years, everybody fenced off back roads and feathered cattle off it, and
He says he got agreement from last council to
Was
put
that
it,
right?
that's what he says, yeah.
well,
And
maybe
he,
we do then, yeah.
because the day he was started to put that up, I was there, and I just asked him, I said, how you doing this? He said, well, the council said I could, I have it in writing. So, whether he does or not, I don't know, but that's what he told me.
Fair comment, yeah.
Yeah.
anyways, that'll be his, There's nothing really we need to do other than you need to be aware that he is blocking off our roads, and if there's an agreement, there's agreement, but I can look further into it.
Is that the
too, and see
same
if I
one
can
where
find
the
anything.
fire has access to get through if they need to?
Fire,
That is
police.
correct.
Yeah, fire,
But
police.
the circumstances have changed out there now. He doesn't have all that crown land. He just owns that one quarter, that part of the quarter just from the tracks south. So,
I remember the conversation.
yeah, so he now it's a lot worse predicament now than it was, that he doesn't have that crown land, because he was saying they were ripping up the crown land and breaking
Yeah.
fences and that, but
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's not his problem.
Yeah, and he was supposed to provide a key.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
And he did.
He handed keys to everybody.
Okay,
Does-
took
So
it over?
does somebody else rent it now?
Yeah.
They have cattle there too?
Yeah.
So they'll still have the same concerns.
But they don't have the gate, right?
It's not their gate.
It's not their gate anymore.
But it should be helping them.
The second fence or the second gate will be removed. The first one that's on our property is up to council whether it's there or not. But the second one will get removed because it's not supposed to
that
be
was
there.
year 2 of me being on.
Yeah.
I think
It was early, it was year 2.
Crown lands, when I was talking, they would have been a little more susceptible if it wasn't locked.
Right.
It was the lock that was on it, was the big issue.
Yeah,
But he did his due diligence. He said he would give everybody keys. So
Yeah.
everybody has keys. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
fire department don't need a key. Like, but it's a big strong metal gate. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
only this wide, and then it's
With a barbed
Fire
wire
fence.
fence beside it.
on each side.
Yep.
So
It's well built.
the quarters just cut the fence around it and
Yeah.
goes through it. So like it's not doing anything that what he was hoping for. Then they get through in the south end, and they come from the hydro line and come all the way up.
There's a metal gate that wasn't locked, might be more useful because people might actually close a metal gate behind them. It's a lot easier than closing a bar gate and
So
we'll
I
just
guess
have to look up to see what the letter of agreement was back in the time, if there is one.
Take a
I
look
think there
and see if
was.
you can find anything.
Yeah.
I don't know how you'll do it, but
Posted. Pretty sure there was.
Okay. Golf day was a success. It was a hit with everyone.
Yeah.
No negative feedback. It
Yeah,
was
it
all
was good.
very
It was like the
positive.
first actually sunny, non-windy, non-rainy day of like the entire spring, so stars aligned.
Good plan. That was pretty great. Several applications have come in for the office position, and while I was waiting, I probably have 8 prior to being away. Probably have another 6.
Good.
So there's quite a few.
Excellent.
Applications are coming in finally again for the operator too.
Oh, good.
Yes,
That was a slow start to that one.
that was a very
That's
slow
stressful.
start.
Good.
Yeah,
That time of year.
it
Everybody
is.
runs the graders in the grader.
Everybody's busy,
Yep.
yep. So we have lots of applications for both. Quinonia Nursery donated 17 trees to the monument. Greg's retirement lunch went well. First submission for our 2022 DFA claim was submitted. Wait for a response for that. That should cover what they've already paid us. Special service bylaw was finally approved and taxes are in process. They're putting a rush on them, so thankful for that. Rosedale Road, the joint agreement that we had in place. There's a little bit of a discrepancy, although we discussed it over the phone. It wasn't understood and our roads are not aligned the same. I think it could be 89, but don't quote me. But our roads don't line up, so the part in between was not getting done. So it wasn't being done up to our standards. So the agreement has been redone, sent back to Rosedale to sign, and to come back here again with more clarity.
have you got in there how many times? Like I expect if we grade ours 8 times, they better be grading theirs 8 times.
We don't have the times in there, we have the distance, that's it.
The distance that they're responsible for.
Yes.
But not how much it's done.
No, we don't have that.
Because if we're grading ours 10 times in the summertime and they're only doing theirs 2 times, is that fair? Not in my mind.
I guess if, when the agreement, it should have been stipulated maybe.
Well, and it depends, so what, you had brought this up before, and what Matt had said is it depends on the situation too, because our side gets traveled more often than theirs too, so it's
Their
probably
side is just
not
a few
going to get
residents,
graded as
so
much.
they
Well, let's switch then.
Yeah.
Go on the other side then. That's the easy way out, all right?
Definitely
Yeah.
busier.
Yeah, so it was just a matter of, it probably wouldn't get graded the same anyways, but this one piece was getting
Neglected.
neglected, period,
Okay.
and that has been rectified.
Okay.
What's next? Connex Wireless has arrived. The guys will be putting them in this month on the 3 graders in Carberry. I'm gonna skip this one. I wanna say kudos to everyone for the parade this weekend. I was able to watch it by video.
But
Looked pretty nice. Looked pretty nice, and the music was rocking. The next thing I want to say, Brookdale Roof, they had concerns. She just sent an email this morning.
What roof?
The roof, so she says, I'm contacting you on behalf of the Brookdale Community Center Board. We're requesting the RM's assistance with a new project that we'd like to see done this summer or as soon as possible. The roof over the rink is need of fixing, as in the last few years it began leaking where the 2 buildings join.
Is that the skating rink or the curl rink?
Skating rink.
We fear
Where it
that
comes to the center part, you know?
Oh,
we fear that over time it'll begin to deteriorate the inner wall, causing structural damage. We have current quotes which I've attached to have it re-tin. They've quoted us $56,000. We've begun fundraising and applying for grants and currently have $33,800 to go towards it. We're asking for assistance with the remaining $21,000. We realize this is a big ask, especially since we have been promised an increase in our operational grant this year, but thought maybe some of the funds that could have been used for the ice plant could be used here instead. If the RM is able to help in any way, that would be greatly appreciated.
So that's that beautiful, like the community foundation BT, that one was going towards that then?
I'm assuming, yeah.
Good for them for getting 33 fundraised, that's
so actually having that, rec reserve that we have
From
as,
Shiloh.
the backup for when stuff goes, so. you
From
know,
Shiloh? No, I have no idea.
That's
I thought we were gonna pull out to help cover the cost on their ice plant. We don't
Yeah.
have money on that.
We put money in there, we did get extra
Yeah. I think we did.
in the budget. But they want more on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the overall rec reserve, there's $809,000.
That's with all
But
the,
that's all the rec.
all the rec
Yeah.
districts.
Yeah.
I could,
Yeah,
I could get you a
Shiloh one
breakdown.
we're looking at was like the one that's like in lieu of taxes, that Shiloh one.
Oh, yes.
That was gonna put towards the general rec
Yeah.
buffer bubble.
When you look at it, the rec committee's operating it, but it is a municipal building, it's ours, so.
Yeah.
So whether we pull it out of that reserve or whatever, I think we
Yeah.
should still help cover it. They've gone a significant way to pay more than half of it.
So if you pull it out of there, you're technically taking it away from other rec reserves too, right?
Yeah, but a portion of that Shiloh reserve is in there too. so
Okay,
she
as
can
long as
find
that's
out
in there, if you
the
can
breakdown.
find out what that
I'll have
number
to,
is.
I'll have to find that.
Yeah.
say it was 150, 130.
So you just divide it between the recs.
You don't wanna lose the
It's
building.
kind of the safety bubble for anybody that has unexpected big things come up that
It
we
was a-
don't budget for.
A constant leak, and now with all the roads, it's just getting that much worse, and it's gonna start
Yeah,
rotting
yeah.
out between the buildings.
I know that budget line is not gonna last forever too, though, because I'm pretty sure they don't pay as much as they used
Or
to.
they're done now, they
Yeah,
changed it.
they're not paying the same in lieu of taxes as they used to, so it'll dry up eventually for sure. But there's still a little bit of leeway in there.
I'll have a look.
If
But that's
you could,
again,
that'd be
the
great,
same
yeah.
place, it could be, because I know there's gonna be like campground expenses coming up too, though, so
If we
we
can
should
help them
equally
cover
fair.
these
Yeah,
capital costs, they do run the place at a
Yeah.
profit,
Yeah.
generally with their,
That fund is
Especially now, with
specifically
our
for when
contributed
stuff goes
crew.
south like this.
yeah.
Okay, and,
You'll look into that then?
yep, I
Thank you.
will.
As long as we don't have 2 COVID years again, I don't think that.
Can we,
Yeah.
should we send Brookfield a letter of support saying we'll cover it, we just gotta find out how? Just to
Everyone
let
okay
them
with
know.
that?
Not
I'm
really.
sure they would appreciate
I wouldn't,
that.
wait until we find
Wait
out
until
what
we find
got.
it?
Well, yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
like, I mean,
gotta find the money
they,
first.
we.
I'll find
we-
it and I'll send you an email.
Well, no,
first
it just, they got lots of money from, extra money for the plant and that, it is our building, but it, we just gotta be careful, we can't promise the world if we don't have it. It's gotta come from somewhere, but,
We gotta know the figure too, and it's gotta be,
yeah, like, I mean, odds are really good, high that we're gonna do it, but just, we can't.
We gotta know what it is.
Well, yeah,
yeah, if it's 13 or whatever, we can, that's, fair.
I mean, if we,
We can,
there's still a little bit of summer left, if they're still trying to apply for grants and stuff, they might get some more
Well,
money.
yeah, if we kind of do a promissory letter, I'm sure they're gonna try to improve their number
if-
between now and then too. I
Maybe, they might, I mean, yes, I would hope so.
Yeah,
I wouldn't get too far promising anything until we know what we
Yeah.
got.
Yeah, like, that, I mean, it's gonna get fixed.
the only
pretty-
letter I would send is, we're digging hard to see what we
yeah,
can get.
I'll give her a call, so I'll look into it. I have Nellie looking right now, actually.
awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Information. And that's it for me.
Your campground orders there?
Oh, yeah. You wanna talk about the campground?
Not now.
Not now?
Okay.
Next.
Alrighty then, in camera.
Anyone else around here?
Oh, no, that don't work. Robbie, go ahead.
No, I, just got a few things in camera and that's it.
Harold,
I'm good.
welcome.
I was talking to Stefan Point, just saw him on the road one day and was shooting the gears. He's gonna let you, Jaren, and Ray know as well. He has an issue with, a White Mud Watershed project that was done, I wanna say decades ago.
At Glenn Cummings's?
Yes. South of John Deere on the west
Yeah,
side.
we're aware of that.
Okay, perfect. He asked me to come take a look at it with him, so I entertained it, went and took a look. And yeah, it's backing the water up fairly significantly to the mile north. He's gonna fill
Well,
it,
south,
my apologies, yes.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I had it backwards, my apologies. Yeah, that road's basically impassable with any sort of truck traffic or anything of the sort, even with the low level crossing that's designed there. He was gonna put in an application to White Mud Watershed to possibly have that waterway revisited. He wants it lowered. The only suggestion I had to him is I said, I can't see them lowering the dam height to reduce the amount of retaining water in that structure. So maybe they might entertain the fact of reducing the choke point. So
Is there beavers in there now by any chance?
no, it's clear as it can be. But what's happened, basically the dam has got two separate levels to it. It's got the main level that maintains the lower level of the pond. Then it has two beams that are up higher, about a foot, that extend out to slow the speed of water through there. It allows the water to wash through, but it slows it. And then all I suggested was maybe they could make that choke point wider to allow it to clear faster so it didn't stay back on his land as long.
Well, it's wrecking our road. The
Yes.
mile south, it has ruined that road there.
Yeah, and he's got about 5-6 acres out there that he could not seed,
He
and
can't
probably
seed,
another
no.
5 acres out there that is wet and failing horribly in this wet year.
That road should have never been built up, but.
Yeah, no, that was built up for makers to haul bales from
Yeah.
the east years ago.
So, just word, like he was gonna talk to you guys about it, but because I was talking with him about the farming, he brought it up. It wasn't a step on toes for another ward or anything.
It's a private water drainage issue, you can get a license, I guess, so.
Right, and that's what he was gonna do, but I thought I'd mention it to you since we were both on
I
that.
have to talk to Watershed.
Ever since he bought it. So.
Okay, I figured.
He didn't have much
Anything
else
else?
to talk about that day.
I thought there was something else, but I can't think of it right now, so go ahead, it's fine.
Yeah,
I have to apologize, Teresa, I phoned him twice and I haven't got back to him. about
Okay.
the ditch. Basically, Ron Jones has approached me again and Adrian Kerman. And, so I talked to Ingrid too. And basically what they did is they droned from the White Mud watershed at Hawkins's north on that 1 mile of Andy Hawkins. And they droned, the next would be Jason Sumner. And then they did a mile or a half mile north, which is just, by your place, Robertson's. Okay, there's 3 or 4. I counted 3. They say there's 4, but I got the pictures here, the airdrop. Basically, this last rain here, we got levels in that swamp that actually the town of Brookdale, if we would have had another inch or 2, or would have went to town for another pump. That's how bad it was. The level got up so high. The water in that right now should be about this much lower than it is there. And maybe it is because of that. But I got the pictures here drawn, and I don't know, I said I'd approach you because it'll affect you too, for water, for your cattle. I looked on Google Maps to see your water to the north and the cattle come in there. So, but anyway, we have a problem with the water in Brookdale. It's flooding back to the south, and it's flooding around and all that. And I would like to lower that level in that water in that swamp by 1 foot. And if it is those beavers, there is a big beaver dam in there. And I don't know, it looks like it's holding back water.
Whereabouts is this beaver dam?
That one is on Hawkins.
Okay.
Yeah. So they did it on their own without me knowing it. They supplied me the pictures, and so I said I would ask you.
is it bothering any of our roads?
Not main road necessarily, but back road somehow.
After
What's-
I did the flow test, they were up by my place, and I did the flow. It's, the flow down by your place is really minimal. You know, of course, up by my place, it's, like great guns. And then even at Brookdale, the flow rate is quite a bit faster than the flow rate out of your.
Well, you got all the water coming down from here, like what's the elevation at Cordova?
Well, it's another likely 20, 30 feet higher than our
Yeah,
farm.
1750, and then what's the elevation at Brookdale?
Well, it's 110 feet.
1350,
Yeah,
so
we're
there's 300 feet, 400 feet, and then what's the elevation to Lake Irwin?
Well, it's only about 10. Maybe.
Yeah, so that's the problem, is geography.
Yeah.
Like, I know years ago when they cleaned out, there was never an existing drain between 27th and the creek to the north of Brookdale, and when they created that drain, it basically stopped at Hawkins's, right? And then it's considered natural portion. You can see on the creek here, see there's a 3rd order drain, 2nd order drain, 3rd order drain, natural waterway. What they should have done is start at Lake Irwin and work their way up. But they just stopped there at Hawkins's and dumped the water into the natural portion. And there's portions here between Brookdale and Ron Jones where it goes up a meter in elevation before it goes back down. There's depressions, eh?
Yeah.
So it's like a pocket of saucers that have to fill up and trickle away. And in the meantime, we've got all this water from the northwest coming in at 350 feet. And then it's got, like Grant says, approximately 10 feet to
It's
trickle
only
away.
10 feet from England, I know,
Yeah.
to Lake Earl.
Yeah, exactly. So the biggest drop is right at our place, where it drops about 6 feet.
But Ingrid, I'm running the.
That's fine, if they wanna
commissioner.
clean out those beaver dams, it's up to the landowners on that portion.
Yeah,
it's up to them.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like if landowners wanna take out beaver dams, take them out.
Yeah.
That's their property, not
So
ours.
I said,
It's not, there's no,
approach you and we'll just work
There's
one
no
dam
right
I'll be given permission to work one dam at a time, and as long as I gotta phone the conservation officer.
yeah,
So
yeah, you
just
gotta
let them know.
yeah,
You have no problem with that,
no,
cause they wanna do it, so.
yeah, no, we can take more water at our place.
And they basically what they wanna do in the fall, if it does freeze up, they wanna get,
I've got 200 acres I can't get to right now, but I'll take more, I guess.
Is this individuals for their own benefit at the end of the day, more than the town of Brookdale?
well, it's for their benefit.
Yeah.
The majority of the land in question is them, those two. But basically, they're willing to flip the bill, so.
Yeah.
So that, like, I understand, like, it's not even designed right, the water, you know, that's going, like, it's huge culverts down to little ones.
Yeah,
You know,
and like, there's a lot of land use change in Odana up there. I was talking to a counselor from there, and he said like, since some of these small farms have changed hands,
yeah,
there's big guys coming in, and like Ellis has had 3/4 there that are totally drained now.
Yep.
And there was other land along here, you know it, you've
yeah,
seen
I
it all.
know the land.
You've seen it all.
The Hutterite Colony, they've done a couple sections up there, so.
And then all the water to the north of us, like it comes in from the northwest from Mentmore.
Yeah,
So all that water's gotta go down before the Brookdale water can get up. So when all this water's coming, the Brookdale water's sitting there flat.
yeah.
And then when this water goes down, then the Brookdale water can.
Have they talked to Watershed at all?
Yeah, I think he's called a couple of times.
Yeah, water, that's not water, like Hawkins is,
There's
it's,
no jurisdiction, like Watershed has no right.
that's just private.
Maybe Watershed might get involved though, would they? Or would they like input?
No, we don't, we're not, we don't have any new drains.
Yeah.
It's our mandate from the province, no new drains.
See, another problem too is the Brookdale Boggy Creek isn't utilized fully either anymore.
That's right, and part of that, we do have jurisdiction on it, and we've had that cleaned out, and then the private landowner to the east of that also cleaned out his own at his own expense.
Yeah, see, it's even on 2020, the Boggy Creek drain all through Brookdale now is only utilized 2/3. Meanwhile, Brookdale's just about flooded out, you know, all the, you know, like it's,
It would be almost easier to take that water out of that creek to put it south.
oh, I know it, yeah, I know. But there's a couple of landowners in there, and I'm not gonna mention any names,
Yakachuk
Divert it.
place.
you know, made it so it goes through the drain of that Brookdale.
Mhm.
But I just wanna run this by council, if they're willing to blow up the beavers. And in the fall, they wanna get a backhoe baker in there and just open up these dams.
Yeah, if it's on their own land at their own
No.
expense,
As long as
No,
they
it's not, it's
follow
on
the rules.
Hawkins,
as long as the landowner gives them permission
yeah,
and agrees to it,
yeah, you don't have no problems with it?
not clearly, no.
Okay,
What else you got,
what's it?
Darren?
I don't have anything.
Dallas?
I did the Carberry Fair on the weekend. Just want to do congrats to the organizing committee and the Karski family. Does the whole children's area there. It was fantastic. Thanks for those coming in the parade, and thanks to Nellie and her family who did all the parade
Yeah.
pre-prep for us without us even asking or knowing. And then the new daycare fundraising committee has a bunch of new little fundraising things coming on, so just keep your eyes out personally for things coming around. And this weekend is gonna be provincial ball here in Carberry, so congrats to the organizing committee, things are taking shape and it's pretty exciting. That's it.
Good, thank you. For me, just a big thank you to everybody that was involved with the parade and that. Same thing with Nellie there, like, she did a pile of work, her family, so.
Yeah.
not everybody can be around, that's just a fact of life, so thank you for everybody that participated. And the staff, they're out mowing ditches now, and they're trying to keep up with what they've got to work with, and doing a good job, thank you. That's it? Okay, resolution 210, 2024, be it resolved that council as a committee of the whole move into in-camera to discuss personnel matters. Can we have a mover, please?
Rob?
Rob, seconder.
Grant?
Grant, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.